Okay, just a quick moment. Beautiful hearts. We are welcoming you into a beautiful session of light, a beautiful ceremony of light. This is Samhain, which is otherwise known as the end of the season, the harvest season, and moving into the darkness for the winter. And this is a time of retrospection and inward heart-opening journey. My guest today is Grace Galzagorry. She is on a mission to awaken the cosmic Christ heart within all of us. Hi, Grace. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Lorraine. It's so wonderful to be here with you again. It's been a while, and I just really appreciate just this whole vibe. So thank you for holding this for the whole planet.
Wow. All right. Let's tune in to what the energies are of the moment. As you look out at the collective, what is anything that comes to mind for you of people's journey? What do you witness is happening?
Well, I think the roots, there's a tremendous amount of clearing, purification happening in the roots. And I think when we think about the cosmic Christ heart, we think of something out there in the galactics. And the truth is that it's our roots that are being purified. And that I think we don't completely comprehend that that means it's a complete reset, that you have to really let go. I mean, at such a deep primal level of everything that you think you are in order to really discover who you truly are. I know we say that a lot, but when the roots are being ruptured like they are right now, it can really create instability, as we can see on the planet, and a lot of shifting. And simultaneously, there's so much energy here from the light realms and also the ancient beings. I think it's perfect that we're meeting today because it really, the ancestors are alive in the roots this day, like telling us we've been here all along and we've known this all along, and connections from some of the deepest, like stones and the ancient beings in the caves and in the and some of the roots of big trees, etc., are connecting with many of the planetary realms and lighting up our roots that are the truth of our divine heritage. So it's really it's a great day today to really tune into that energy and realize that we have both, there's a death and a rebirth happening, which I think is also part of Samhain, is that death of our, the way we've held it, which has been so constrained, and we call it enslavement, to be able to open to something as magnificent as what's opening. But we have to go through a lot of unsteadiness, shall we say. And that's what I'm seeing. Like so many are, it's not just words, it's like our lives are being uprooted. And so there's major change happening very, very rapidly.
Rapid shifts and change. To me, it feels like we are being given another opportunity to go back and master that which we've learned about, but we haven't mastered it. Like this cosmic heart or our frequency, our vibration, where we are interfacing with the quantum field and we're really making sure that we are broadcasting that frequency that we want. So it's a whole new level of mastery. It feels like it's an opportunity for mastery.
I agree with you. And I also think that we have kind of been misled in thinking that that mastery is out there and what we're putting out. And in fact, it's embodying purity. That's really what the cosmic Christ heart is. It's purity of such a degree, but in ourselves, not just out there or how we are acting in the world, and living according to old traditions, but actually being the truth of the light that we are. And so when you say mastery, I think the mastery is really that we've learned so much constraint in the body field and it's holding us entrapped unconsciously. I mean, this is the level of roots we're working at, unconscious ways that we live from a very limited place, when in fact there's so much freedom, but it doesn't suffice to talk about it. We have to live it, like be that in our bodies so we're free of fear. And that's huge, to be able to embody the freedom from fear and to be in absolute faith and trust that we are part of the flow, not part of whatever limitations we have bought into a belief.
Yes, okay. So let's interface this with the world at large and what's going out on in the collective. What would you say for that? Because if we could look outside ourselves and we could find a lot of reasons to go into despair or doubt all of it. But then again, as this is a level of mastery, it's an invitation, right? What is that invitation?
Well, I think that we tend to think, again, that the doubt and despair is based on the events that are happening out here. When the way I see it, and what is, when I talk about the roots, a lot of this is embedded in our roots, because when we lost connectivity, when we lost the knowing with union, because it didn't get resolved, we lost the divine femme, we lost the matriarchy, we lost so much that we it didn't get resolved. So it's coming up from our very foundation. It's coming up from the foundation of the roots of what's here on earth. It's not just happening on the outer. And as it's coming up, I really see it like a boil that's coming up, bringing that toxicity forth. And so we're being called to purify that so that we can heal from the inside out, instead of seeing. So when you see what's going on the outer, that's really the outpicturing of what's actually emerging from the inner, and the way it's been laid in our own selves, the way we've believed in. And so in order to be a master, you have to have all that purified. I mean, it really has to be cleaned out so that you can live as a pure being of light. As you know, when Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the light, he didn't say, I'm living it, I'm speaking it. He's saying, I am that. In other words, he's rooted in the cosmic womb. He knows the depth, and that's a level of purity that we have known in a sense, but I feel like it's another whole iteration of it on much higher possibilities and frequencies than we have known. But the purification that's happening throughout our lives, we see the dramatic change. It's happening on the outer as well, and think that it's about all this outer change and chaos. But that doubt and despair is actually on the inner, where we lost hope in what was happening, and that got embedded in our ancestry and our lineages. That so as that's purifying, it does come up as despair. And then when you see it on the outer as well, it's hard not to connect that to the degree of despair and doubt that started to be implanted in us, that isn't really who we are.
So then, as we are purifying, that's really what we need to know, purifying. So the protocol, I mean, that awareness right there is a very mature stance to take, to say if it's out there and it's bothering me, triggering me, and I know we've talked about this before, then it's something within me that needs to be purified. And so, for those who are wondering how they do that, how they get there, can you describe for us? Is it reaching for a feeling? Is it sitting with that energy, radically accepting that energy, bringing it into us? Give us a protocol for that. And I know we're going to do a little mini transmission here today with you in the cosmic heart, maybe to root in the cosmic womb. Oh my goodness. That feels so wonderful. But what can we do to change our attitude about what's going on? Like really embrace the triggers, embrace the cleanup job that is at hand.
That's a good way to put it. I really just think that part of the problem is that we're habituated to avoid, and that we also have so many distractions going on, and it's so easy. As soon as we start to hit something that's really meaningful, the habit is to reach out and get away from it. You know, whether it's addictions, whether it's activities, whether it's the internet, whether it's our phones, whether, there's so much distraction. And I feel like that's also part of how we have been dealing with not wanting to look at this deeper stuff that's emerging. And that's really understandable. I feel like we really need to have so much compassion and embrace. I know it's easy to say because the habits are so strong to avoid and to dissociate and to disconnect from that which feels uncomfortable. But all I can say, and part of why I really feel energized to come forth and teach again, is that there is an end to the purification, but there's no end as long as we're avoiding. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That just perpetuates itself and perpetuates the suffering.
Yes. Okay. So and the distraction is, wow. Okay, I can say, every time I pick up my phone well, this happens with Facebook too. Every time I pick up my phone to do something on my phone, I'm distracted and I forget what I was doing. Does that happen to you too? Okay,
Often.
this is what we're talking about. Um, so that right there, wow, how that right there takes a commitment to say,
Totally.
I am going to stay hyper focused, laser focused. Right. Wow. And then let's maybe play a game and see how often we do get distracted. To
Right.
me, as you're saying, to me, that's being very unconscious. It's almost as if, wow, this year, and I wonder if other people are experiencing this as well. We're giving with the rapid shifts and the rapid change. To me, it seems like it's revealing when we're being unconscious in our lives. I've noticed that more than in the past. In the beginning, maybe, well, definitely 10 years ago, someone would say, you went unconscious. And I'd be like, what does that mean? Now I get it. Acting on patterns without thinking, without feeling, right? That's
Right.
what going unconscious is. So this is almost like a beautiful game that we could play to say, when are we not going to go unconscious? And going unconscious means activating this no, going conscious, being conscious means activating this cosmic Christ heart.
And
Um,
willing to feel, Loren, I mean, like willing to feel, like the heart is our only avenue of healing, honestly. The only avenue of healing has to happen through the heart. And that was the great gift of the heart. And that's why the heart-centered civilizations like Lemuria, Pleiades gave us this healing of the heart, which is the only way to heal our bodies and heal this planet, et cetera, is to come back to the heart. And so when we notice the distraction, to be able to, whenever, I mean, with compassion, not judgment, the problem happens that we start to judge, which only creates greater contraction. But it's about with great compassion to bring yourself back into your heart. And then I say the roots, breathe deep into the roots instead of going out, go inward towards it. And I think community really helps with that, like to be in a community that honors that because you don't see a lot of that in the world necessarily. The distraction is the name of the game right now. And to be held even in just sweet communities of this is our commitment to the heart and to being true to ourselves and to going deep into those places instead of avoidance. That's, you know, easy to say, and I know it's much, much more difficult to do.
mm. Before we get into the transmission or the mini little session of a cosmic Christ heart activation, this is actually going to be something of greater depth that you'll be doing later in the month, a really powerful activation. But I wanted you to share on, wow, your history, your background. You have an awareness of a consciousness of your role here on the planet. And it is to bring through the codes of the divine feminine. Share with us that journey, please.
Well, I actually teach from, it's interesting because I used to teach at UCSF and it was all left brain teaching. It was healing. I was a nurse practitioner and I used to teach that. And so now it's like teaching from the heart and from the body and the body's wisdom. And what I came to realize in my awakening, I mean, initially the healing, the purification, I learned this modality. That's part of what I want to share with the world. And I have been with students to learn your own path of healing so that you can do it expeditiously rather than avoid. But I started to heal this lifetime. And then after healing this lifetime, organically, I went into past lives and came to all of these memories and really trauma of the feminine Christ consciousness and all the way back into Egypt and realized that I really that this healing and then the healing work that I teach is from Lemuria and the Lemurians gifted it and it has really it arises from the lineage of Jesus and Mary Magdalene and their lineage arose from Egypt. I mean, the feminine Christ really comes from Isis, Hathor, I mean, the deeper deities. And I actually just really want to bring them forth here today because they are the ancestors of that held the cosmic Christ heart. And so after clearing all of that, then I just started to realize, oh, then oneness starts to transpire. You realize you're a field of consciousness. You're not an individuated thing, and your body is not this little thing. It is really a field of vibration, and you are viscerally picking up a lot that's going on as well as picking it up with the heart. But eventually, I was healing the collective, then the earth, and then I realized my greatest mission here is to heal Mother Earth because she holds every feeling, every experience that's ever happened in any of our lands. And as we know, there's major violations happening even currently of the earth. But just this last summer, I suddenly had this experience of opening into and like just moving past even being an earth being and realizing that it's very discombobulating when your whole earth history is erased and it just becomes a blank slate. And this beautiful, pure white crystalline hearts, diamond white heart opened in my heart. I mean, and I realize that it's based on absolute purity and such an integrity of the masculine and feminine of being true to that. And that's the promise really of the rose path of Egypt, of the healing of our hearts and our beings to honor the divine feminine, which means the heart and our body, to really recognize the body holds the ancient wisdom of the mother. And the ways that we've been taught to disconnect and go into our minds has been so disrespectful in many ways of this deeper knowing that we have. And so it it it's been quite an experience because it just starts to open you into miracles and the familiarity with many of the experiences that I've had on earth, that personal familiarity is just gone. It's just blank. So it just becomes more about a transpersonal love and being um, a cosmic being. So I can feel that I am holding the earth in my womb and that there is a greater reality that I'm just one with the planets and I can have that experience just living from a cosmic place. And that's when I realized, oh, there is an end to the suffering, even though it goes beyond individuated to collective because we're not an individual being. That whole separation idea has kept us from this beautiful and glorious um, oneness, harmony with all life forms, being one with everything. And everything experiences like a myriad of forms that reflect the mother's creation. Human beings are only one of that form, but to be one means that you can actually experience what it is to be an animal, to be a tree, to be a plant, and how they experience it through your body and that you can also experience cosmic oneness without all of the pain and the suffering. That there's joy and that there's glory and there's such an upliftment from living in the truth of that that even when the stuff is unfolding and it's still in my field, obviously, but it just feels like so far away from it because that it's just not the truth. And I'm allegiant to the truth. And that's not something I'm trying to do, it's just something I am.
Wow. Okay. So beautiful. What you said there. I mean, first of all, to know that there is an end to this purification, that really is good. And then the flip side of it is this oneness. That's what we all want. And so this is where we keep on keeping on and just remember to hold the light. We're hearing that phrase so much, hold the light. And this is what Jesus always did. He said, I am that, right? He is rooted in the cosmic womb. All right. So Grace, share with us a little journey. Can you give us a little taste of what we're going to experience in your cosmic Christ heart activation?
Yeah, I was going to actually seems kind of counterintuitive, but I really got this morning, this is what we need to do so that I can help with clearing some of the issues, the blocks in the roots, which go back
Yes.
to, so we're going to do a root clearing, and it's really from the roots, which again seems like it's counterintuitive, but it's from the purification of these roots. That's what I've been really working on for the last year at least, that we, for the collective, that we can come into a vibrational oneness. And the mind can't grasp any of this. It's really such a visceral somatic experience of being one. And all these experiences are so much beyond what the mind can describe. So I appreciate the opportunity to just facilitate the experience and let the chips fall where they may, and whatever people are open to or willing to or able to. And I'm going to try to, in the meantime, I'll be clearing the blocks when we hit them. And so I'm just going to ask everyone to be with it. And some of it may bring up anxiety because sometimes when you're getting into something that's hairy, it's scary. But this is why we do it together. And I know that the field I hold is the field of the, like I said, the lineage from Egypt and the rose path, and the whole crystalline pathway healing that I hold has a whole lineage of its own, and it's so perfect that we're doing this on the Day of the Ancestors. So they come in and they just hold. There's a lot of the deep the dark Madonna that's really part of this energy of just being willing to go to those darkest places. Who I'm getting chills as I'm saying, go to those darkest places and clear.
Uh-huh.
And that's part of my gift to the planet is to make that easier because I know that it's really scary and we're not necessarily always equipped. And yet it can be cleared so that you could be free, basically.
Okay. Yeah. And so the root, again, it's our, it's the core wound, right? It's the tribal, it's our separation. It's where we separated. And that's where the wound of separation is held. And it's our tribe as well. So, all right, buckle up, everyone, and enjoy this purification,
How long
clearing.
how long do you want this to be? I'll see what comes through and see how, see
Yeah, let's
what
just go
once.
at your, yeah, let's go at your pace, Grace. That's
Okay,
great.
very
Awesome.
good.
Thank you.
Certainly. So I just invite everyone to close your eyes and to just start breathing very gently and softly into the heart for a moment, just softening the shoulders and the holding and everything that's swirling around in your head or your to-do list or the things that you believe, just being willing right now to allow this field of all possibility to just melt that and hold that in softness and relaxation and not having to do, not having to be anything in any particular way, just opening the mind, the brain, all the way down into the heart, softening I'm calling in this beautiful pink light of the divine feminine rose path to enfold the breasts, the heart, the lungs, and just softness and possibility, able to gently be with, no need to know how, but willing to be with what's arising. Taking deep breaths, and with each breath allowing a softening, an opening, a relaxing. Bringing this softness and this awareness into the diaphragm to just allow an opening here, opening the Christ portal of the solar plexus in the heart, calling forth the lineage of the crystalline pathway healing to open and to clear blocks, fears, doubts, even despair in the Christ portal of the heart and solar plexus, to reclaim the power, the supremacy of love. Just to be able to allow that possibility, opening, softening, and noticing how the body responds to this opening, this calling. Softening and revitalizing, rejuvenating the cells of the body, to allowing this activation of the Christ portal, awakening to the true power, the depth, the magnificence of love. And just receiving now beautiful frequencies dropping in of truth from the cosmic realms. Little sparkles lighting up, awakening the cells. Sparkles of bright white light moving down, allowing and receiving a much deeper possibility, allowing this beautiful opening of the Christ portal of the heart and solar plexus. Continuing to receive here, there's a tremendous flow now being generated through the cosmic realms, through many of the ancestors in the planetary realms who are assisting with this healing and the clearing that's happening, and allowing yourself to receive, just to receive, not to need to know. Just put the mind on hiatus for now, allowing the body's wisdom to come forth, opening to these wisdom codes of interconnectivity, of harmony, and then dropping slowly, gently, spiraling down the spine, allowing this cosmic awareness, this opening to continue to softly and gently awaken this river of love in the spine. We call on Mary Magdalene to step forth here, just welcoming her beautiful transmission of love and of grace, to awaken deep, deep, deep remembrance, and continuing to travel into the womb, allowing this transmission in the Christ portal to continue to open the body, to greater possibility, to greater healing, to easefully letting go. No need to struggle here, just let it go. And letting our ideas, our beliefs, our limited concepts just be released here into the field that's being held by the lineages of the rose path. And then moving into the womb, and opening here and just allowing these beautiful swirls of energy to just purify and cleanse. No efforting here, just relaxing, softening, being willing to surrender, allowing the womb and allowing this beautiful energy, this cosmic white light of the purity of love, the supremacy of love, to just have her way with you. Softening the hips and offering up anything that feels blocked here in the hips. Just willing to surrender. Doesn't have to be hard. Easefully allowing it to be lifted here in the miraculous nature of the cosmic Christ heart. And then becoming aware of the root, the tailbone, the rectal area, the genitals, opening here to this beautiful transmission of the pure white crystalline particles emerging, being downloaded. And feeling just naturally how the bones of the body are remembering and softening and opening and just allowing this river of love to start flowing through the bone marrow, in particular down the legs and into the feet. Allowing the tailbone to connect to the ancestors, to the spiritual lineages you have known, to your biological lineages, spiraling and naturally following the calling, the flow of the truth of your divine heritage, the abundance, the glory, the joy, knowing that that's the truth, and feeling organically the calling, not needing to know what it is, just willing to trust the body's knowing that goes beyond ancient times. Sending your roots now deep into the earth, just becoming aware of the roots as they travel gently, burrowing into the earth, snuggling, feeling held in the great love of Mother Earth. Receiving here a depth of compassion and grace from the Great Mother. Feeling your roots being encircled, being cherished. Feeling the gratitude and receiving the Mother's love. And noticing if there's any places that are stuck or blocking or afraid, and just allowing that to be okay. Reaching for the mother's love, the mother's all encompassing compassion. Softening into what you already know. Taking a deep breath, deep into the roots, grounded here, solidly in Mother Earth. Nothing to fear here. Feeling the truth of the ancestors here. We call in the sacred stones, the ancient beings who have held this knowing for this beloved planet for eons of time. And we call in their deep wisdom of knowing that we are interconnected, that we are one, that we are harmonious, with a much greater flow here, and that there are no limits. And softening, allowing ourselves to just fall into this gentle embrace, this tender embrace of the mother, healing the wounds of separation, of fear, of lack, of doubt, of self-hatred, and just allowing those to dissolve effortlessly, allowing love to take over, allowing love to awaken you once again to the truth that you've always known and that you resonate with even through your fear. Knowing that this deep truth is what always holds you. We allow the nourishment, the nurturance of the mother's love to sweep through our roots, reassuring and enfolding all the places we feel small and have been hanging on thinking we had to do it alone. Just feeling the mother's embrace and her permission to just let go now and receive this deeper embrace. Feeling the relaxation that happens through your whole being as you receive this reassurance, this nurturance, that this tremendous love is offering in this moment, and receiving this transmission of grace. Feel your roots tingling now as they come alive. Tingling as they remember to be alive, to be awake, and the joy that comes with that. The joy of alignment, the joy of being one with the truth, and easily and effortlessly just softening into all the physical parameters, the separation parameters, just dissolving here and falling into this great ocean of stars and the great void. Gently and softly, just holding this awareness, this knowing, allowing it to sweep through your body, just washing and cleansing and nurturing all the cells, of being one with this universal flow. and softly allowing the truth to awaken every cell to a true heart commitment to find this place of deep peace and union with this glory, with this limitless expanse of who you truly are. Gently and softly, just resting in this awareness for a few moments. And then resting easily, knowing that this is the truth and that you can access it at any time. And that the Great Mother is always holding her creation with the utmost care, cherishing every moment of your life. We bow in gratitude to the ancestors who have held this knowing, and gently bringing ourselves back into the body as we know it, and simultaneously holding this greater field. There are no limits. And gently, when you're ready, opening your eyes and giving yourself a big hug, just cherishing this beautiful physical embodiment that holds all the keys to being a cosmic being. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for that, Grace Galzagorry. Wow. You know, as soon as you mentioned the river of love in our spine, I got that. I got that um, how the body is connected in this way. And now by the end of this, as we give ourselves that hug, this was so profound and loving. This is self-love. This is how we self-regulate. This is a very safe, loving space. So beautiful. Wow. And
Yes,
it's the
it is.
unlimited field of possibilities within us now. It feels so good, doesn't it?
It
Wow.
really does. I mean, I just felt such a deep peace just come through. It's just like, oh, this is the truth. No matter what's going on out here, this is always here. This is our core. This is what's true. And it just feels so different rather than that frenetic energy of being part of this, the distraction, basically.
It really took us into that sensation of oneness, the peace and the oneness, unity as well. Your transmissions are so supportive energetically and so beautiful for all of us to bathe in. Oh my goodness.
And that's the thing. I think we always feel like we have to be doing, and we can just be in that. And there's a tremendous amount of healing that's happening just by allowing ourselves to feel ourselves in our body and ourselves to feel held, because we just haven't had that experience in trust. You know, that issue of trust always emerges of how can we trust that, because we're so scared of love and to love freely.
All right. Well, we have permission for everyone to love freely and unlimited and love yourself. And so we invite everyone to join Grace in this beautiful live transmission. She's going to take us deeper and a much longer experience where we can really make a shift. And this is, again, more purification, but it's working with what we worked with today, the feminine vortex of love. Wow. Grace, can you share anything else you'd like to offer about this event that's going to take place November 9th?
Well, I'm going to obviously go further into what the cosmic Christ heart means. And again, I feel like it's such a great message of hope and also truth of who we are and the fact that we actually can arrive there. And so I'm going to talk about the two main ways of this path. That is the journey of self love, which is ongoing, never ending. And to me, self love is about balancing. It's about balance and wholeness. That's what healing really is meant to make whole. It comes from the Greek word halon, healing, so that we are making whole, that we're balanced. So self love is one of the elements of the path. So I'm going to talk about self love and I'm going to talk about the crystalline pathway healing and how that is an expeditious journey. It's actually the way Jesus and Mary Magdalene were healing, and it becomes a whole body emanation of love where you are healing whatever you come in contact with, your whole field all the time. And that's really to be that powerful of an emanation of love. So I'm going to talk about the two main elements of the path and invite people to join me for those deepening journeys, because part of the and I also do a tremendous amount of healing, and it'll be a lot in the roots before and after the event, because we are not just together in the time that we are together. I'm as soon as a person signs up, I'm working with their field and whatever they need clearing and purification about clearing those blocks. And so it just makes it doesn't take it away, because we have to gain the wisdom from the things that we have encountered in all of our lives and in our lineages, but it makes it so much easier. Like, people just move through stuff instead of getting stuck, avoiding, dancing on top of, which only prolongs the suffering, sadly. So we move very quickly because I'm able to clear things at very deep unconscious energetic levels that are holding people back and often have been for a very long time. So I work with people before and after every event that I do. When I'm doing classes, I'm doing daily healing work on the field and different individuals and what's coming up for them, so that we can. So many people are trying so hard, but it's hard to do that when your habits are so strong, and it's easier, it seems, to distract and avoid. And unfortunately, that happens in countless ways daily. So
Yes.
it's a matter of trying to find it. There's two parts to the path. One is the eternal, because we have to change our behavior. We think of healing as someone's just going to do something to me and then I won't have that symptom, but we don't realize that healing is a much bigger journey of learning how to. Our behavior has to shift to be in oneness. Our behavior has to shift to honor ourselves, and in every interaction in our lives where we are really in that balance of the masculine and feminine, that we're honoring ourselves first, and then being in interaction or in connection with our lives. And so it's quite a big paradigm shift to change our behavior. But in addition to that, I'm also going to talk about my healing classes, so those who feel called to do the healing on themselves, which really expedites and empowers people to realize we have that capacity within ourselves. We don't need, honestly, everything is within. So I'll talk about those two main elements, what the cosmic Christ heart is, and then do a deep transmission and healing.
Incredible. Thank you. All right. So, everyone, register for this fantastic event coming up with Grace Galzagorry. It'll be recorded as well. And as you've heard, it's multi-dimensional, where it extends outside of the class time before and after. Grace will be working on you. It's really a beautiful opportunity to do some incredible healing on yourself, shifting of yourself. I would even venture to say that this healing work, Grace, allows us to overcome some of the looping mental patterns. Those are just going to go away. We're going to be fortified that when they come up, we're going to recognize them and we're going to say, guess what? We're done with that, right?
Right.
We're
And
done with
it
that.
makes the power of them dissolve in a sense so that you see right through it. When it comes up, you're like,
Yes.
why would I do that? Like you really have a choice instead of being stuck in the old same looping. You know what I mean? Like you see the choice because the foundation of why you've been doing that has been cleared. And it's really quite
Yes.
amazing. Suddenly you're like, wow, I never knew this was a choice. I never saw the choice because I was so habituated to doing this and not even seeing what I was
Yeah.
doing. It's often honestly self-destructive, not self-defeating in a way. Not to,
Self-defeating.
you know what I mean? Just great compassion, but we don't see what we're doing because we're so used to doing it. And so when we come up on, and there is a looping, there is a crime, but you can move through that so much faster. And I feel like I don't have any magic potions, but I do have the truth that we systematically learn and move. It's a journey of healing into who we truly are. But I can tell you how to do it a lot faster and help you on the path. That's it. Like lift so much so you don't have to do all of it and feel lost and confused. And the community also helps.
Yes, beautiful. And it's a beautiful community of light people that you bring together. So it's a beautiful experience. One thing that I must mention is that you are an incredible teacher because you've taken this journey in your own life. You've gone so deep within. You healed yourself of lupus. And
Right,
that is an incredible thing. We have just a moment on that. I would like you to share the power of this light within ourselves for that healing in the face of any diagnosis. It does give us incredible hope. Can you share
right.
that?
Yeah, because I think that we have a linear concept of healing. So we think, oh, I tried this healing session and it didn't work. But that isn't really, and it's a very um, linear and patriarchal way that we thought that healing is physical, when in fact it's really an eternal looping. I mean, spirals that go deep, deep, deep to where we disconnected, where the separation happened. And often with disease and diagnoses, there is a point in the lineage or somewhere where there was a major trauma and the disconnect, like a psychotic split, and we could no longer find the passage of love, the river of love. We disconnected from that. And that lends itself to disease, right? It basically cuts off the supply of love, which is the supply of oxygen, the supply of life. The breath of life has been cut off. And so any disease, there is no disease that's an exception, can be healed through through clearing those blocks and finding the river of love again and allowing the river of love to heal us. We have everything. We are love, and so the love can heal us. And so my own journey was very painful. I had right on the edge of a multiple myeloma that was an immune system cancer, tremendous pain and distortion in my bone marrow, huge immune system issues. I also had Lyme disease. I was very ill for a good 10 years, and I thought I'll never heal Lyme disease when my immune system is so shattered. So I just had repeated horrible infections. I was very emaciated, and I just kept showing up and doing this healing. And I can't say I always felt faith. I just knew that this was making a difference and that I was transforming. I didn't realize that healing ultimately is about our transformation, but not just our relational transformation, but ultimately results in a physical transformation. That the physical is really just part of our emotional, spiritual being. And when you clear that foundation and restore the flow of love, it can heal anything. There is nothing that can't be healed. So I obviously, through my own journey, learned that. And so now I teach how others to do that. But it takes a tremendous commitment and the courage to face these patterns and the, moments of darkness, despair, etc. But it can be done. And I feel like it's getting easier. The wheel is getting greased, and because of the lineage that I hold, also the river of love really works powerfully with what I'm doing in the healing work.
Okay, well, we're going to go take that connection, make that connection with the river of love like we did today. That was so beautiful. And we're really excited to join you, Grace. Thank you, thank you, thank you for this opportunity. I wanted to say as well that this course is listed here on this webpage. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll find a link in the description box. And there's also an opportunity to get the winter solstice event that you do in December as well. Another beautiful opportunity to anchor in more light, to clear out some debris, and really be powerful around the solstice. So that is available as well. And also, you have a course, it's a home study on demand course, Self Liberation of Love. Do you want to share anything on that course for people who want to work with that?
It's the liberation of self love.
Self-love.
And like I said, I teach that as raising our awareness of the ways we are not in balance within ourselves with our masculine, feminine, and allowing. And it's a very transformative course because of the healing work I'm doing in the background, because a lot of us learned on the paths we've been on and also our lineages, etc., to not honor ourselves, to not honor our own bodies, to not really respect or have value for the divine feminine and for our hearts, for our bodies. And it's really about a returning to that wholeness within. So that's really what self love is. It's about this dance of the masculine and feminine. So I go through different practices, like self forgiveness is one of them, where we learn to balance the masculine and feminine, what that looks like in essence, and self compassion and self responsibility, and what it looks like to be in balance and in wholeness. So it's really a wonderful experience, but it gives a prolonged experience so that when people have really big areas of stuckness and or feel frustrated because they keep defeating themselves, that they actually have an opportunity to heal and be uplifted.
Okay, that is the liberation of self-love, a beautiful program with Grace. And again, as you are partaking in these programs, you are in that feminine vortex of love. And we hope that you feel it and are ready for that transformation in your life. Grace, you always lift us into high frequencies. And for that, we are eternally grateful because this is it. This is the path, right? This is it. And so I just honor you and I thank you for this light and helping us all remember, clear out that trauma and become whole again. It's a frequency. Once we feel it, we will never forget this. We're getting stronger and stronger at feeling it. So now we can call on it and cultivate it right here in this moment again. That's powerful.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. Thank you, Loren. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I welcome and invite all those who feel the resonance and feel the calling, because the time really is now, and I just feel like we don't need to suffer endlessly. Let's move. Let's move. Just move into the flow instead of trying to be, trying to do it ourselves. Just like join
Yes.
in and know that that was always the way we were meant to do it. No one was meant to be out there lost and confused and in pain. We can all clear this and be so free, so joyful. I mean, it's my greatest joy to offer this. So I just welcome all who feel called, and thank you very much, Loren, for hosting me and this opportunity for all of us to join into a greater field of love.
Thank you, Grace. And thank you, everyone, for watching. And we really, truly hope that you feel this aliveness within you, this energy within you, this wholeness within you. Grace is a beautiful teacher to assist you, and we hope that you felt that. And again, we invite you all to join. Thank you, Grace. It's always so lovely to be with you. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Loren. See you soon.
See you soon. Namaste.
Okay.
Of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.